Hi guys, I'm Shannon the Garden Girl from Georgina Garden Centre. Today I'm going to do a video on soils. There are different types of soils and use them in different applications, so it's always a nice reminder of what one to use where. I'm going to start with our two most common soils you're going to use, potting soil and garden soil. And how you use them or where you use them is in the name. So potting soil you use in pots. In pots, potting soil. Garden soil is the ground, garden soil. Don't interchange them. Don't put potting soil in the garden and don't put garden soil in pots. So first, potting soil. This is the pink bag we carry. And it's really nice, really light soil for pots. And you're going to use this in any size pot, probably almost 3 foot diameter, 3 foot by 3 foot and lower. If it's bigger than 3 foot, you could start mixing garden soil and potting soil, but otherwise, potting soil for pots. And the potting soil for pots is a really, really light soil. It has soil, peat moss, some vermiculite mixed in there, but it's just really, really light. It holds the moisture well, but not so much that it makes it soggy and will rot your plants. Next, and I'll show you the difference between these two. So that's the potting soil. This one, this bag's open, so this one's the garden soil. It's our yellow bag garden soil. It's really good. And this stuff is, and you can tell by how I lifted the bag, this stuff's a little heavier than the pink bag. And this is what, it's hard to see, but that's what this looks like. It's like, you can feel that it's like you can almost make a ball with it, and it's not that it's really heavy or soaking, it's just that's the type of soil it is. It's soil, there are probably some peat moss in here, there's some horticultural sand, some manure mixed in or compost, and it's too heavy for pots. Like I said, garden soil for the ground goes in the garden, potting soil for pots. This stuff's too heavy for pots, will hold too much moisture in the pot, and will end up, especially if you have a rainy season or whatever, various other reasons, will usually end up rotting the roots of your plant because there's not enough drainage for in a pot, and then as a result your plants will die off or peter off or just not look well at all season. So garden soil for the garden, for the ground. Okay, like I said before too, if you have a pot that's more than 3 feet by 3 feet or thereabouts, even 4 feet by 4 feet and bigger, you could mix the two. So again, so this is heavier. You could mix some potting soil in with it just to loosen it up so there's good drainage in your container. A lot of people do raised garden beds now. So again, depending on how big it is, if you're getting into like 6 feet by 6 feet type thing, you can go just straight garden soil. But it is always nice to add some potting soil in just to lighten that soil. Otherwise, this is always in a garden, in the ground, or a really big raised bed, things like that. Never use it in hanging baskets, in window boxes, in pots, anything like that. Don't use that in that. So those are the two most common soils. Then we get into some different specialty soils. I have a cactus soil. So you're going to use this for cactus, succulents, anything else, jades, anything that rather be on the dry side. I've actually done snake plants in this too. So anything that doesn't need a ton of water, that rather stay on the dry side, you can use this. And this is pretty much, just getting a sample here for you. This is, I know it's hard to see on the camera, but this is, you can see kind of how light and how much it moves around. It is just soil and sand. Very much more in the sand than the soil in here. Just a lot of drainage, will not hold a lot of moisture in there. So again, good for succulents, cactus, jades, which is a type of succulent. And like I said, even snake plants I've done this in. So just, it's, I want to say it's heavier than a potting soil, but it drains, and it's heavier because of the sand, but it just drains, holds very little moisture. Okay, so that's what you want to use for those. If you didn't have this and you had your potting soil, you could mix a bit of sand in to make your own. I would stay away from garden soil, and that's way too heavy for that kind of stuff. But cactus soil for cactus or succulents. Then I have this tropical mix, and this is for tropical indoor plants. It's very similar to the potting soil, which you could use interchangeably. You could use potting soil if you just had it at home instead of having a brand new soil for your houseplants. However, if you have a lot of houseplants, do this. This soil is, again, very, very light. It's probably even lighter than that potting soil. This has soil, peat moss, and vermiculite in it, but it just allows a lot of drainage, a lot of good airspace in there for the roots, for inside, for your plants, so they don't sit in a lot of water. Okay, you always want really good drainage in your potted plants inside as well. Okay, so that's your tropical soil. Okay, and then my last sample I have here is, this is for if you're sprouting or doing seeds. Okay, it has soil, peat moss, it has vermiculite and perlite in this one. So it's for starting your seeds indoors or outdoors, or if you have little seedlings, you can use this. Again, really, really light, and it's very, very fine, which is what you want for your seeds. So this has little bits of perlite in it, soil, but it's extremely, extremely light, which you want really good drainage for your seeds. You don't want any water sitting in there to rot your seeds off. Okay, so those are all the different types of soils. And again, the most common are our pink bag, the potting soil, and the yellow bag, our garden soil. And each one has its purpose, each one used in different applications. I know it seems like a lot having different bags of soil for things, but it doesn't go bad. You can use it from year to year. And you're investing time and money into your plants, so invest the time and money into proper soil so you have that better chance of success in your growing. Have a great day, guys.